Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this series, you're going to see 25 days of trade analysis. I am calling it 25 days of Tradesmas. In this Tradesmas series, if you are going to be watching it, I highly suggest that you take the opportunity to be participating in the giveaway. I would love to give back to you guys in the YouTube world who have supported me and followed me. I am always very interactive in the trading floor community, but I know there's a ton of you who have followed me for a while who aren't in there, and I want to be able to give back to YouTube as well. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for all of your guys' support here on my YouTube channel, and I am wishing you all the warmest of holidays, whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. I personally celebrate Christmas, so therefore I am doing the 25 days of Tradesmas. But whatever your holiday season is, I wish you and your family and loved ones a very warm and happy holiday season. With that being said, I am doing the giveaway here on my channel. So for every day that I do one of the Tradesmas videos, if you do any sort of interaction, if you like, comment, or subscribe, you will earn an entry to be able to qualify at the end on the 25th day to be part of the drawing that I am holding. I will draw a winner for the giveaway. I will announce the winner on the 26th of December. The prize will be to win a yearly subscription to the trading floor. So if you guys are interested in it, make sure that you are doing the likes, subscribe, and comments. Obviously, you cannot resubscribe over and over again, but don't worry. You will get 3 credit points towards that, but then every day following it, as long as you leave a like and you leave a comment, you'll get 2 additional entries for each of those. In addition to my giveaway, if you guys love giveaways, we are doing one on the Trading Floor YouTube channel as well. It's the same thing over there in order to enter as well, though it is interaction. So if you like, comment, and subscribe over there with that channel, you are going to be entered into a drawing at the end on the 25th as well. We will draw a name for somebody to win a $1,000 cash prize. You do have to have PayPal to accept this prize, so make sure that you can accept PayPal if you're going to go over there and enter into it. But I think that's a really nice prize. I think most people this time of year would love to have $1,000 extra. So make sure that you guys are also checking out the Tradesmas that we are doing on the trading floor. And there are lots of styles of trading happening over there on their Tradesmas. You will see all of our live streamers and our staff submitting videos. So if breakout trading isn't really your thing, or maybe my style isn't your thing, no worries. Go check out the Trading Floor's YouTube and make sure you are subscribing, and commenting for an opportunity to win $1,000 cash prize at the end. Okay guys, let's get into the video, and happy holidays. Hello, welcome back to day 6 of Tradesmas. So today's going to also be another trial account that I did pass, because I did say there was 2 of them that I did take during the month of November in order to be able to earn extra points for my Team for Strategy Wars. So this is another trial account, and I did get some feedback saying that you guys would like to see more about this. This particular one that I passed, I am showing a higher time frame, and this is purely price action based. So I did want to make sure that I'm helping those of you guys who are just price action. If you don't have the happy trail indicator, please don't freak out about it. You don't need that indicator. I just used it a lot because I was on happy trail team during the month of November. Once we get out of November, I probably still have some happy trail, I'm not gonna lie, because I do like happy trail. It is my go-to indicator. But I will make sure that I show some other stuff too. I had some SMS stuff, which is Stairmaster strategy, that I also love a lot too. And I have some of those trades that I'll likely throw in throughout the 25 days of Tradesmas too. But I wanted to just get through November because this is this recent month for my trades, so you guys can see what they looked like. Anyhow, this is a trial account as well, because again, I wanted to earn the points for my team so you guys can see. This was FTMO again, and if you don't know what this is or what I'm talking about, I'll link the video above. I talk about it in day 4 of Tradesmas, so you guys can go check out that video, and I give some more details about what FTMO is and the trial accounts are. But basically, for this trial account, I was able to earn $23,483.57, way more than you actually needed to pass this account. I was letting these run a little bit, which I was not intending to let them run that much, but it was just doing well. And I will explain a little bit in the trades why this looks like more than it is. And the reason is because I was actually doing a daily time frame, and hopefully that'll help some of you guys. But the average profit for each of the trades was 4,696. I didn't have any losses. They all ended up in profit out of the 5 trades that I did take. And, you can see past and all that stuff. So on this screenshot. So anyhow, that was this trial. And I do believe this was this was the course of one day that I took the 5 trades. So I am going back to the same thing that I did talk about in that video where I will admit, I do over risk. Like, you shouldn't take probably 5 trades at a time to do this when you're doing a trial account. I'm definitely over risking for these, but the markup is what you should focus on. So don't be so focused on this profit. It's actually play money at the end of the day because it's a trial account. It's just to pass the account and to get the points. So don't be wowed by that. It's not even real, to be honest. It's just cool to see that you could potentially have made that, but the analysis is what's important. So it is price action based analysis, and it is using a daily time frame. So I'll show you guys how I go through multiple time frame analysis. And I do this typically once a week. I will at least look at the daily time frame just so I get an idea of where the market is working and what the higher time frame zone is that it's trading within. It helps to keep me a little bit more focused as far as where I potentially want my bias to be for that day, and maybe where it would be for the overall week, or maybe even month if it's really trending. So here we are on NASDAQ 100. We are on the daily time frame. So NAS100 daily time frame. And what you will see here is that what I was intrigued about and I had been watching. So this candle you're seeing formed at the time that I was entering into these trades, this was the daily. And what I had been interested in and been watching for the couple of days was this particular candle. If you know candle formations, then you would know that this is actually an evening star situation that we have happening here. An evening star candle pattern does indicate a potential reversal to come. On its own, by itself, it's not all that strong of an indication because that happens a lot. You'll get lots of different candle formations, but when you add that with some other confirmations, it can be pretty powerful. So why I was intrigued about this particular evening star was that this dotted line, if you don't know what the dotted lines are, please go check out the first video for Tradesmas. Go check that one out. I'll link it above. Basically, the dotted lines, so they function as my middle area of what a zone would be. I just don't like all that clutter. As you can see, I have lots of dotted lines. So you can imagine having lots of purple boxes all over the place would feel very overwhelming when you're looking at a daily. It also looks a lot more than it is because a lot of these are actually 1 minute, 5 minute, or 15 minute levels. And so when you're zooming out on a daily, it looks a lot more and they look a lot closer than they actually are when you're on those lower time frames. So don't overwhelm yourselves with all the dotted lines or zones that I have. And it's actually, a lot of these are probably from older trades. You can see that I have marked up. And I do like to leave my levels sometimes just so that way I can make sure they're still being respected when I'm watching the market. And in this case, that did happen. So back to the evening star and why I was intrigued by it was that I had a previous level. That's what this white dotted line at the top is. That was a previous level from before, which you can see over here, that the market had come back up to and was respecting. And it creates the evening star at that level, indicating that a potential reversal is coming at a key market point, at a key area of price where we know in the past the market had dropped. So I was intrigued. I was interested in this, but I needed obviously another confirmation to show why would I even want to potentially look for sells. So the following day happens, and it is a nice indication showing that there is still bearish sentiment, and it helps to complete my evening star pattern here, which is nice. And then the next day happens. So once this candle kind of confirms my evening star pattern, plus it also gives me a Stochh RSI crossing at an overbought area. And on the daily, the Stochh RSI, as you can see, it's not quite as volatile. It's not whiplashing all around the way it does on the 1 minute or 5 minute. It does stay pretty steady. So I do like it when you get a nice crossing at an overbought area, along with a candle pattern at a key level of the market price. These are all indications that, yeah, we're probably going to see a bit of a drop in the market. And it's a daily time frame, so you're probably going to see that for a little while. Now, I don't solely suggest just using the Stochh RSI. I'm pretty sure on this screenshot, most people are looking at it wow, that looks amazing. Please don't just use the Stochh RSI, though. You do need other indications as to why you would get in, other confirmations. So in this case, there was a evening star pattern that I liked. It was at a key level of previous market price that I was interested in. And I did have it crossing on my Stochc RSI at a overbought level. So I was anticipating somewhat of a drop or a retracement in the market about to happen over the next day or two. So that was kind of my original bias, and that's where I formed my bias for my sell. Now I'm going to show you the 1 hour time frame. We are still in NASDAQ 100, but I am showing you 1 hour time frame based off of that daily that we just looked at. So it's still the same exact market, the same time. It's just I went from the daily chart where we had looked at it to form our bias as to what we think the market might be doing. And now we're looking at the 1 hour to confirm, do we think that it's an ideal time to get in, or should we probably be waiting? So what I saw when I came to the 1 hour time frame, and you'll see here, is the triple top with liquidity grab. So triple top is 1, 2, 3. Some might argue there's a fourth touch here, but for me, I like to really see my wicks or my candles come into the full zone. This one to me is like a tap. But either way, whether it's a triple or quadruple tap, you have a triple top here. And it is at that key level of price that I was talking about on the daily. And there is a liquidity grab. So the liquidity grab that you're seeing is right here. What this essentially is when the market pushes price just above your level, grabs whatever liquidity it needs in order to move the market the way it wants to truly go, and then moves it. So that's exactly what happened here. For people like me who are breakout traders, this can be really frustrating because you see a strong candle and you see it break out of your zone and you think, oh, we're going up. But like I said, we formed our bias already on the daily. We know we're not going up. We know that we are likely going down. So when you see something like this, you shouldn't change your analysis. The daily time frame is your stronger time frame. That's your better trend and your indication of what is likely to come. Do not change your bias because your 1 hour is looking like something else. This should just tell you that maybe we are going to have to wait for a better retracement or confirmation in order to get into the trade. That's all that's telling you. It is not telling you this is a breakout and you should get into this trade. The daily time frame is not telling you to buy. The daily time frame is telling you that it's a seller's market likely about to happen. So we're not looking to buy even though there's a breakout happening. You wouldn't look for that. What you should do, though, is think that, maybe this is a liquidity trap to try and get people to think we're breaking out and we're actually going to be dropping in the future. And that's exactly what happens. So what you'll see is this nice, strong bullish candle, the liquidity that they grab. And then even this candle that follows it, it does close bearish technically, but they do give you a nice little rejection wick at this area, which would throw a lot of people off typically. And I could see why people would get a little frustrated with that and think that maybe you are going up. But again, at no point does your daily time frame tell you otherwise. So even if they did drive it up a little bit further in price, you wouldn't want to look for buys. You would be looking for sells with your bias here. So anyhow, basically, those were the indications that I was looking at as to why I ended up selling for this day. And I ended up looking at the Stochc on here too, but it wasn't actually overbought. So again, don't focus too much on the Stochc when it comes to these like lower time frames. With this, it doesn't really help you because you can see it gets a lot more wacky, and it gets really wacky. Here's the little wacky too, but it gets really crazy and very sensitive when you go to like 1 minute, 15 minute. And I don't mean sensitive as like in a good way where you're like, oh, it's going to get me in sooner. Like, it just can be really sensitive, and one candle can totally throw off the way it reads. So while I love the Stochc RSI, I don't think it's the best sometimes to be using on the 1 minute, 5 minute time frames. Even the 15 and 1 hour can still be a little tricky at times. I do put it on there because I do like to just confirm that we are crossed in the correct direction. But this was not a big indicator for me on the 1 hour for my analysis. What I did love to see was all these rejection points that were happening at that level, and then the little liquidity grab, and then the nice strong bearish candle back in indicating liquidity grab, and that this was your moment to get into the actual markets. If you were being a little more cautious, you could have waited for this candle as well to actually break below and to make like new market structure for you. but you didn't really need to do that. It was creating it on the lower time frames. So now that you guys know that we had the triple top liquidity grab, that's what you're reading here. It's just all being marked up and pulled over. We're back on the daily for the NASDAQ 100 because I want you guys to see what my original thought here was, because it was ambitious. It was a pretty big trade. If it had to go that far, it didn't have to. I did pass the count within that day, later that day, because my initial analysis was correct and I did ×2 this trade. So it worked out fine for me and I was able to pass. And like I said in the previous trial account video that I did on day 4, once you pass those accounts, just close your trades. Don't be holding all the way down here and like potentially risking it. You want to pass your account and just be done with it. But I also was looking at this for personal accounts that I was trading, because while I do compete in strategy wars and I wanted to do the trial for the extra points, I also was still on live accounts at this point in time too. So I was looking at this for my own personal purposes as well and looking at like a longer hold. And I will talk about that more in future videos for Tradesmas as well, because once we get it back a little bit further out of November, like August, September time, I was swing trading, and I'll show you guys how I was doing some swing trading with NASDAQ. So I will talk about that in those videos and you'll get to see that too. But basically what I was looking for here was a pretty ambitious trade, and I know that, but it was all based off of this daily analysis that I was looking at, and then the 1 hour time frame confirming that we were likely going to get a little bit of a drop coming up. I do want to disclaimer this with that you would never want to actually hold this entire trade and not secure your profits along the way. So if you have your candles, your daily candles forming, and at the end of the day, let's say the market had dropped to this point, right? If you get to this point, and I'm just using one of my dotted lines because I know these are previous levels on smaller time frames, so likely the market will be drawn to those. If you got to this point, say, and you come and check and like you had a really nice candle that dropped down, you want to secure your profits. You want to make sure that you are using a trailing stop of some sort to be able to make sure you're trailing them, because this is very ambitious, like I said, and this is a huge amount of profit had this actually played out completely. And it would have been really irresponsible of me to not trail my profits along the way, or for anybody not to trail them. You really should be trailing, especially if you're doing a daily type of time frame where you're swing trading, because this could take weeks to even get to this point, and you wouldn't want to not secure profit along the way. And that's my little tip there. So the likelihood of this actually happening in just a straight shot down, it's pretty slim to none, and there's a good chance that when you are trailing your profits along the way, that somewhere along the way there might be a retracement and you would get tapped out in your trailing stop. But in my opinion, it is better to have secured your profits and know that you made the money than to have just like let this run for days, potentially weeks, and then end up with nothing out of it. I don't know, maybe that's my day trader mentality and how I like approach it when it comes to more swing style trading. But yeah, that's my personal take on it. And I know that I am pretty quick to secure profits, but it does work out for me personally in my own trading. So that's my opinion on this. But if you do something different and you are a swing trader, feel free to comment below and let me know if like you have a different opinion on it, because I'm always open to what other people do when it comes to their swing trading styles and their risk management, because swing trading is something that like I dabble with, but I'm not necessarily the best at, and I would love to hear what other people are doing as far as like how they secure their profits. So that is it for this trade and this video. You guys can see, like I said, what the account looked like. It was a trial account for this. That was ×2 for that trade, and that was the logic behind it, and that's why I took that. And there were 5 total trades on here. I will just show you guys. This was US30. It based off of the same kind of logic of that we had the cross on the Stoke RSI. We had the double top rejection off of the resistance level, maybe even triple top. You probably could call this triple top. 1, 2, 3 at this level. And yeah, so basically another strong day candle. That's what this line is showing, where we had a nice strong bearish candle that day. And this was what that initial markup or thought process was as well. And this trade, again, it also ended up working out well for me. And that day it did drop pretty straight down. And between the US30 trades and the NASDAQ 100 trades, I was able to pass the trial account. So I did just close out the trades, pass the account or strategy wars submissions and was done with that. But yeah, that was the idea behind these trades. And I think that's it for today, you guys. I will see you in day 7 of Tradesmas.